Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm gonna be testing a GTX 1050 4GB. It's a laptop GPU. Since I recently got a laptop, very affordable on the used market, and I was curious to see how it went on gaming. In the past, these were very expensive, but again in the used market it should be a good deal. It has a 1050 4GB, 16GB of RAM on dual channel. Dual channel is very important, so make sure you have that too. And the CPU is an i7-7700HQ. For the 16 games and testing, this shouldn't make a big difference. On Assassin's Creed Odyssey you'll get more stutters if you get a quad-core i5 or something like that. And on CSGO, instead of 144 FPS, you probably get 120. This doesn't matter that much since we only have a 1080p 60Hz display. The 16 games tested are a mix of very new games and some competitive titles. So you got Doom Eternal, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Red Dead 2. Then you got Fortnite, PUBG, Rainbow Six Siege, Battlefield 5, so you'll see how it behaves in different games. Depending on the game, I'll be targeting different frame rate targets. So yeah, on some of them it will be 60 frames per second, then on others it will be 30, and same goes with resolution. For example, on Doom Eternal, to get 60 frames per second I needed to go for 720p, but then on Resident Evil 3 Remake, by just selecting the interlaced option, I was able to do 1080p 60 frames per second with some drops into the 40s. So yeah, so far I'm very impressed with the performance, considering it's a laptop and the price I paid for it. But if you're planning on get one on the used market, make sure that it has more than 8 gigs of RAM, that the VRAM amount is more than 2GB. 2GB will make the games look much worse due to the lower texture quality needed, so avoid running out of VRAM. Then on the CPU side, if you get something with 4 cores like an i5, it should still be similar to this, but expect some extra stutters on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and a few less FPS on CSGO, still way over 60 on CSGO. Also, I already mentioned it, but make sure that the RAM is on dual channel. It's crucial to get the best performance out of the system. And in a couple of games like Apex Legends and Rainbow Six Siege, I used the dynamic resolution, so the game dynamically changes the resolution to maintain 60 frames per second. And I have to say it works pretty well and the games still look very good. It's very hard for me to notice the lower resolution. One thing that most people don't think about is that laptops have small screens in general. This one has a 15-inch display and I don't really need to play at 1080p, 720p still looks very good. And I say that because depending on what distance you sit from the monitor, 720p still looks very decent. Of course it's not perfect, but it will give you way better performance, especially if the games are very new. One thing that is very noticeable across the entire video is the temperatures. On this specific laptop, the CPU goes into the 90-degree range all the time when playing games, even while doing some light video editing. The core clocks still stay at around 3.4 GHz, so at least for me it worked fine. It's a little noisy. The GPU on the other hand stays between 70 and 78 degrees Celsius, and being a 1050 I was expecting lower clocks than the desktop version. And indeed it has lower clocks, it stays at around 1645 MHz, but you can easily get to 1800 MHz, doing some light overclock with an undervolt at the same time. You just need to go to MSI Afterburner, add 500 MHz to the memory clock, and I was able to keep the voltage at 950 mV at 1810 MHz, so we get a good boost in core clocks on the GTX 1050, slightly lower temperatures, and a little better performance. You can see that at the end of the video. I'll be comparing Red Dead 2 with the stock settings versus the overclock with the undervolt at the same time. And you'll see you get a few extra frames plus slightly lower temperatures, so that's always a plus. But yeah guys, that's about it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Shit! Let's explore this way. Never mind.
I'm down. Pick me up.
Do you see the map? We're spread out quite far.
Only you and me left.
Attention. First blood.
Got our friend's banner.
Friendly, last operator standing. If you remain in this zone, you will be detected by hostiles. Your location has been compromised. You will be detected if you remain in this area. Op 4 has moved. User near a bomb. Destroy it.
Calm, I'm fixing you. More fast aid, soldier.
I don't want to be spotted here.
My dad doesn't like us very much.
Long live etc. Oh! My wife's mum's an old brains out.
Fast check.
Oh!
Disappeared. By killing? Or we done a runner?
To surrender unorthodox books.
Look who it was.
Flashbang. Grenade out. Throwing smoke. Throwing fire.